and so Rob might decide to go for some sort of just pushing sort of all the sort of the buildings just around the edge and not actually going for that central town hall or anything. And Michael now at 81 food, actually. Obviously he's completely stopped mining his gold, and so that means that it doesn't really matter if he's at 81 food, because that's sort of just the same as 79 really. And I imagine Michael will be continuing to build farms though. Maybe no, he's actually stopped lumber production as well. I think that's just sort of carelessness on his part. Maybe he selected all of them and stopped that. And meanwhile, Rob is now just sort of moving through Michael's base, just picking out any buildings that are sort of around the edge, and now going to be able to pick off this blacksmith while the another attack upgrade is being researched. And it's a shame that this won't go up, because it's a really nice attack upgrade to have if you can get it. And meanwhile, Michael coming into Rob's expansion now, using Cloud very effectively to take out those sort of two groups of towers with only 2 clouds. So that's pretty nice for him. And obviously, Knights are actually not that bad against watchtowers, just because you can get a good number of them around one. And a Kodo coming in now, being speed scrolled and actually managing to eat a knight and then getting out of there. But Blade Master has been banished, and Hex being used on the Blood Mage as well, so that it can't continue to siphon mana, I think. And actually a poorly placed Cloud here means that those two towers aren't going to be stopped from attacking. And a very nice use there of Protection Scroll though, which means that there's just so much armor on those things that it takes a lot of bats just to take out anything with air or any air units. And as soon as Michael comes back, or as soon as Rob comes back in, Michael just uses Vanish and Siphon Mana, which forces Rob just to run away. And Michael now still sort of, despite using his army the whole game, or despite using his Blood Mage the whole game, still has mana, and really he hasn't been using too many units. Using too many clarities. And Michael being forced to rebuild his blacksmith though. I think he wants that 3rd attack upgrade for the knights. And Griffin Rider is now 2-3 upgraded, and I imagine he's going to want that 3-3 obviously. And now pumping Griffins again. He's stopped producing knights, and I think he's moving back to Griffins. So I think he's just sort of trying to play games with Rob really, in terms of just keeping him guessing what he's going to go for. Because as soon as Rob saw all those knights, he switched to Kodos. Obviously Kodos combined with Raiders are really good against knights, but obviously they're terrible against Griffins, and so it's a bit of a trade-off here. And Mountain King comes out 3rd here for Michael. And I don't think any of these Kodos, or I think one of them had a knight from early on, but apart from that none of them really did. And none of them had eaten any knights, so they hadn't really gotten their values worth. And a Spirit Lodge now being built for Rob, and I think he wants to spell in case any Sorks come out. But by looks of things, Michael might be switching back to Griffins at this point. And I think he had to destroy one of his Griffin aviaries there just to get out, because he did used to have a 3rd one there. And Michael now building some more farms, actually resuming mining, because he's down to sort of a limited amount of gold, and he is at 80 food, so he's still on low upkeep. So it's well worth continuing to mine into, and then if he decides to push into high upkeep later, he can just stop mining again. And this is really going to help him, because it's going to mean that eventually you can see Rob's main is run out, whereas Michael still has a decent amount of gold in his. He still has 750 gold in his. And this expansion as well, Rob's went down a lot later, but the difference between the 2 amounts of gold is actually only about 4,000, which, considering that Michael's was up so much earlier, is actually not half bad for Michael. And it's going to mean that he can last a bit longer, and he can just go for a bit. He can actually play a longer game, rather than just when his mine runs out and Rob has a whole bunch left, that Rob can just sort of play the defensive game and win it based on that, and scroll protection being used immediately. And some nice use of Kodos here, getting one knight immediately and actually not managing to get any more. A nice bolt there from Michael meant that Kodo was stopped in its tracks. And some wyverns being brought, or sorry, wind riders being brought back into the melee now, and obviously they actually work quite well against both Griffin Riders and Knights, but you do need to be careful that they don't just get focused down, because they do go down pretty quickly. And actually Banish being used on one of the Wind Riders to very nice effect, because obviously it's going to last quite a while, and it's going to stop a high amount of damage being done. And Mountain King level 2 now, continuing to bolt and managing to get another bolt on a Wind Rider, actually a Banished Wind Rider, so it just takes a whole bunch of extra damage. I'm surprised he hasn't gone for that Shadow Hunter really, because with some Knights and some good focusing power, you think he could possibly take it down. But you can just see so many banished Wind Riders here, just completely sort of eliminating 12 food worth of units at really sort of a very low cost. But finally the Blade Master is level 5, so he's going to have a very powerful critical strike now. And Mountain King now taking a lot of damage, but being healed up. Obviously, level 2 Holy Light's very powerful, and these Wind Riders are now out of banish as well, and so Michael might want to rebanish them. He does have a whole bunch of mana on him, and actually he banishes a knight that was low health, so that's pretty wise by him. And 2 Dragonhawks now coming in and getting the shackles out on the Wind Riders, and Rob decided to draw in TP out and save those 2 Wind Riders. Actually managed to save one of them, but not the other. And this Mountain King now very low, but I imagine the Paladin will just be transferred some mana from the Blood Mage, who has almost 200, and then we'll be able to heal up the Mountain King there in a bit of a nice sort of teamwork spirit. And a speech scroll being used to get Rob straight back into this battle. Now that he has all his Wind Riders and back to normal form, he might just try and focus down some of these Dragon Talks. Obviously, the shackles goes off quite quickly, and 2 more Dragon Talk coming in now. I don't think Rob is counting on that, and I think that's going to lose him these Wind Riders and possibly the game as well. And Shadowhunter being forced to run away, and Blade Master just being focused down again, but just this banish, and there's a GG from Rob. So some really nice play there by Michael. A pretty unusual strategy, and I hope you enjoyed that game, folks. Yeah, I'll see you later. Thanks.